Hello, beautiful people. Today is 5th of August. My name is Sahil and welcome to Newspaper Analysis. Today in GS Folder, we will take a reference from the writings of the Jane Jacobs. So, guys, she was an influential American journalist as well as an activist. She has written extensively onto the urban development, slum rehabilitation, and poverty. Now, onto the poverty, she says that poverty has no causes, only prosperity has causes. Analogically, heat is a result of active processes. It has causes, but cold is not the result of any processes. It is only the absence of the heat. Just so, the great cold of poverty and economic stagnation is merely the absence of the economic development. So, friends, by this particular quote, we get a very clear idea of executive apathy or the governmental apathy, where just because of the indifference, such kind of vices comes into the society. So, guys, in our GS paper number 2, directly the topic of poverty has been given. There, you can use it as a reference as well as into the GS paper number 3, as well as into the essay. You can use such kind of things. Now, guys, the main question that I gave you yesterday. So, this question was from the socio-economic problems. It could be asked in GS paper 1, GS paper 2. Question says that which tragedies in India are cocktail of various socio-economic factors? Trace such factors and discuss how they can be mitigated. Now, into the introduction, you can start that which tragedies have become synonymous to a slang into the context of India when large number of people they face health miseries owing to the consumption of illicit liquor. Further, we can add that huge tragedies in India have been linked to a particular demography, that is the people belonging to the lower socio-economic groups, because this low socio-economic standard only leads or creates the circumstances in which such tragedies are committed. So, guys, now here we will list the factors one by one. First factor we can impose that by government's progressive taxation onto the liquor, the price of liquor rockets up so much that people are not able to consume them, and then they go to consumption of the illicit or spurious liquor, which leads to the health problems. Second problem is the lack of health sensitization in people with respect to consumption of these liquors. Third problem is that many a times prohibition is installed into the state without giving the adequate thought, and there an underground racket of huge breweries bring come up and people consume them, and then the problems occurred. Such kind of thing has been observed in Bihar. Then fourth reason could be, guys, this that people belonging to the lower socio-economic segments often find it hard to go for the psychological counseling with respect to the stress and struggles that they are witnessing into the times of crisis, and into the absence of that they fell into the cheap country made liquor such as hooch, and it leads to the tragedies. So, guys, these could be the points and how they can be mitigated. First of all, there should be a strict enforcement by the law enforcement agencies, and the nexus which is going on between the illicit brewers, police, politicians, etc., that nexus should be broken down. Secondly, there should be the adequate psychological and health counseling of the people so that they can be sensitized that what long term consequences of these things could be there. Thirdly, onto the lines of Alcoholic Anonymous, government should start the rehabilitation center where people going who are the habitual drinkers, they could be lodged and they could receive the institutional support. So, guys, these could be the things which you can write, and this will be the framework of your answer. So that's it, guys. And now let's start the newspaper analysis. Now, guys, first of all, let's take the overview of the entire paper first. So, guys, here the H1B visa suspension for the federal jobs has been mentioned. So, we'll see the issues involved here. Then, guys, here the Ram temple construction has been mentioned, not important for our exam. Now, guys, here we can see that the UPSC final exam have result has came, and Pradeep Singh has topped the exam. My heartiest congratulations to him and all the aspirants who have cleared the exam. I hope to see your name also into the list next year. Best of luck. Now, guys, moving forward onto the city page, we can see that here the HAFA has been mentioned. So, with respect to the infrastructure creation into the higher education sector, we'll see certain issues. Then, guys, moving forward onto the city page, we can see that the important news with respect to the UPSC has not been mentioned. Then, guys, here the cage fishing has been mentioned. So, we'll see how we can use it into our answers. Then, guys, moving forward, we can see that nothing important news has been mentioned here. Now, on to the editorial page. This editorial mentions about the Donald Trump's policies with respect to the visas. We'll see what has been given. Now, guys, this particular article provides the example of 4 or 5 people who, despite of being for Kashmiris, they have proved how they are inclined towards the Indian nationalism. Guys, not important. Certain stories has been given here. Now, guys, here mediating Ayodhya. So that thing has been discussed. Substance is not there with respect to our exam. Now, guys, this particular article mentions about the new education policy in which the three language formula problem has came. Just yesterday, we discussed this entire issue from 1968 as how this problem developed till 2020. So, guys, you might have seen already this thing. Then, guys, these two articles mentions about the Jammu and Kashmir issue. Then, guys, this article is talking that why Gandhiji was silenced after the 1945 bombings. So different interpretations are being made. Guys, with respect to exam, factual content is not there. However, I will recommend that if it is possible, give a reading by yourself. So writing style is very good here. Then, guys, moving forward, so we can see that important news with respect to the exams, only the COVID, Hawala, these kind of things are there. Now, guys, here Supreme Court had directed that senior citizens should be provided the support. So we'll see what has been given. Then, guys, moving forward. Now, here we had seen already the contempt of court issue has started in Supreme Court. So, guys, this article is about that thing only. However, nothing substantial has came till now. Then, guys, moving forward. Lessons from due experience with respect to NEP, certain good points have been given. We'll see this thing. Now, guys, this particular article, though in news there is nothing, but on 24th July, I discussed the permanent commission that has been given to the women into the Indian Army. So, guys, in case you have missed that particular thing, please refer to it. Then, guys, a showcase page not important for our exam. So, onto the world's page. The Sri Lankan politics has been mentioned. China accuses US of bullying over TikTok. So, guys, clearly you can see that nothing substance is there. So, on world page, alcohol says how it is setting the state. In this respect, Lafar curve and some important concepts with respect to the taxation will be seen. Then, guys, B2C online sector has been mentioned. So, we'll see certain things. Then, onto the sports page, nothing with respect to the exam has been given. So, that's it, guys. And now let's take the newspaper analysis in detail. Starting up, friends, here we can see that the US President Donald Trump has signed an executive order by which the H-1B visa holders will not be eligible to hold the federal jobs in America. Now, guys, going into that issue, first of all, what do we understand by the federal jobs? So, guys, job under US government in any of the branch, that is the executive, legislature, and judiciary, is called as the federal job. Now, friends, in this very year, into the aftermath of pandemic, large number of visas have been suspended. For example, H-1B visa, L1, L2, F1, M1, etc. So we will form a holistic picture onto this entire issue which have unfolded till now. So, guys, starting from very scratch, see, into the US, if you want to make an entry, you need a visa. So broadly, there are two types of visas. First are the non-immigration visa and other are the immigration visa. So immigration visas are those which are given to people who wish to stay back into the USA. So green card, the permanent residency, etc. belong to this particular category. After that, non-immigrant visas are given to those people who are coming for a temporary stay in USA for purposes such as tourism, business, work, studying, visiting family, etc. And here there are large number of subcategories such as A, B, C, and likewise. And when we talk about the H category of visas, these are given to the skilled professionals, and within this there are H1B, H2B, H1B1, etc. And, guys, specifically now the H1B visas have been suspended. So these visas are given to the highly skilled specialized technicians as well as the physicians. And every year these H1B visas are given onto the basis of lottery. And, guys, 60 to 70% of these H1B visas are given to the Indian nationals. Now, friends, earlier into the month of June, already the USA suspended the H-1B visas for the other category of jobs, due to which the IT industries in USA, for example, the TCS, Wipro, and Infosys, they had faced a major problem. Moreover, even the technology giants of USA, such as Google, Alphabet, Apple, etc., they have also shown their resentment when the H-1B visas into the June were suspended. And now, with the present move, what has been done, even for the federal jobs, the H-1B visas have been made ineligible. Now, friends, these are not the isolated events. Rather, earlier also, USA suspended the student visas, that is the F1 visa and M1 visas. It was said that the students who are taking the entire online classes, their visas will either not be renewed or new visas will not be given. However, due to a huge backlash from the public as well as from the corporates, such a decision was rolled back by the USA. Now, this all thing shows us the resurgence of the right wing politics into the USA, where, into the name of America First, USA step by step is stripping USA with its cosmopolitan nature. USA used to happen a place where the cultures, diversities, and nationalities across the globe, they used to mingle. But these kind of things are being taken because of such kind of populistic actions. Now, how we can say that this is a populistic move? Because, guys, according to a survey carried by the Maryland University, it was said that 65% of US people believes that foreigners are taking the job of the US people, and therefore such kind of orders are obviously directed to appease the masses. It is a kind of a populistic move, particularly into the year when USA is going to witness the elections. But, guys, it has a huge impact, because if we see, alone the student community is contributing nearly $41 billion to US economy and is sustaining more than 4 lakh and 58,000 jobs in USA. And similarly, if we see the IT industry, then more than $150 billion of IT business is generated in USA, in which major share is because of the corporates such as the TCS, Wipro, Infosys, and HCL. And, guys, the suspension of H1B visa will be having huge impact on these IT firms. At the same time, the better job prospects for the talented workforce will be reduced. Thirdly, guys, even the Google, Alphabet, and Apple are also hugely dependent onto the high skilled Indian workforce, so their prospects will also be impacted. And last but not the least, it will impact the warm cultural ties between the India and USA, which have been nurtured over the years. So, guys, there will be much implication which is unfolding onto this particular front. So if a question comes into the exam onto the visa politics, please don't be limited to one category of visa. Rather, there is a bigger picture is going on, so you need to focus on these things. So that's it. Now we'll move to next. Now, guys, here we can see that the HEFA has been mentioned, which will be providing the funding for the infrastructure upgradation into the JNU. Though we don't need to see that how much funding for what projects are being given, but the concept of HEFA happens to be important. Now, guys, if we see the higher education sector of India, then we know that it is plagued by issues such as very low gross enrollment ratio. Then there are poor quality of education because of two component. One is the soft component and other is the hard component. Soft component means outdated curriculum, incapable teachers, out of sync between the college education and the practical world requirements, and all such kind of things. Now, onto the hard front, there are the issues such as lack of quality infrastructure into the educational institutes. And, guys, because of all these shortcomings, we can see that into the QS survey of 2020, not even one institution made into top 100, and even in top 200, there were only three institutions. So guys, in both of these things we need to work. Now, as we had seen that the new education policy has been released, it will be focusing majorly onto the soft component, whereas onto the hard component, one major project which has been started by government, it is the initiative of RISE, which stands for revitalizing infrastructure and systems in education. And by 2022 the infrastructure upgradation is to be carried, and for that infrastructure upgradation, higher education financing authority has been created by the Ministry of Human Resource and Development, which has now been renamed as the Ministry of Education. So HEFA will be providing the financing to the higher educational institutions. Now guys, this funding will be given under different models. For example, if the technical institutions are more than 10 years old, they need to repay the entire principal amount from the internally generated resources. However, there are certain other categories also where some part will be given as loan, some part will be given as a grant. So please keep this thing into your mind. Then guys, secondly, a question comes that from where the HEFA will get the money. So in this particular direction, initial equity capital will be provided by the government of India. Then guys, after that, money will be mobilized from the market, and there HEFA will also be collaborating with the financing partner, and right now the financing partner is the Canara Bank. So it will also help to mobilize the money from the market as well as from various other sources. Then friends, see some more points, because into recent years such type of things have been asked. See, I'll tell you, HAFA is both a not for profit company, also it is a non banking financial company, NBFC, which is of non deposit taking category. Therefore guys, it is registered under the Companies Act as well as it is registered with the Reserve Bank of India. Hence, please keep this thing into your mind. Now guys, further moving, so into this news item we can see that the JNU had got a funding under the HEFA. So now you might be understanding that why it got the funding. Now guys, into the recent years, the scope of HEFA has been expanded substantially, and it has been said that HEFA will be mobilizing the funding up to 1 lakh crore to the higher educational institutions by the 2022. So guys, these are all the issues which are associated here. I hope you have understood. Now we'll move to next. Now friends, here it has been said that Odisha government will be promoting the cage fishing. So before coming into the news, what do we understand by cage fishing? So here you can see that into the reservoirs or into the water bodies, large net cages are installed, and within these cages the cultivation of a fish is carried into a controlled environment with respect to the diet and other kind of supplements. And when the fishes will attain a desired body mass, they will be harvested. Now guys, because of this particular thing, the returns by aquaculture can be enhanced very greatly, and at the same time it also facilitates the free movement of the fish. So guys, it also provides a perfect ecosystem for the marine resources. Now guys, as you might have heard that India is now also looking forward to reap the blue revolution, where emphasis is made onto the aquaculture. So guys, the cage fishing can be a new feather into the blue revolution, and as of this, Odisha government will be bringing a new policy which will promote the cage culture into the medium as well as large reservoirs. Now, Odisha government has decided that they will be exploiting the Hirakud reservoir, and in such a way, there are large number of dams into other states also which could be utilized. So, guys, as an example of bringing the economic growth via blue revolution, the cage culture can be quoted as a additional point. So guys, that's it into this particular direction. We can use it as a reference, and now we'll move to next. Now friends, as we had reached the 1 year anniversary of scrapping of special status to Jammu and Kashmir, a large number of articles are coming. Even yesterday, that is on 4th of August, we had seen 3 articles on Jammu and Kashmir crisis at this particular timestamp. There we had seen as from 1947 to 2019 how the things are developed, then the change of status, and what are the emerging issues into the aftermath of changing of the status. Now, these two articles are also onto the similar line. This line article is justifying the move in Jammu and Kashmir. It said that it will bring integration. However, this particular article is discussing about the violation of human rights that is going on. Now, guys, violation of human rights we had seen. However, a couple of new things are there into this article which we will be seeing. Now, see, whenever we talk about the violation of human rights here, two issues come. First of all, the suspension of 4G internet has been carried, due to which various fundamental rights under article number 19, that is right to trade, is being suffered, because now a lot of trade happens through internet. Then children are not able to get the online education, they are not able to access the telemedicine. Moreover, their freedom of speech and expression is being curtailed now because of non availability of internet. And on to the 4G, Supreme Court even delivered the Anuradha Bhasin judgment, where it said that before suspending a 4G, you need to go forward with the test of proportionality. It means that you should justify that the benefit that will be coming by suspension, they are much more than the cost that we will be associated with it. Moreover, the status report needs to be filed by the government, and even government constituted a committee to look into this particular matter. However, nothing substantial has came. Then, guys, other violation of human rights come, it is because of the house arrest that has been taken. Now, when we talk about house arrest, it is made into the cases of the preventive detention, where it is believed that a person might commit a crime or an offense into the times to come. And in India, Public Safety Acts takes the matter of the preventive detention. Now, guys, under the detention or house arrest, the property of a person might be constituted as a sub jail, and within the property or within the house a person can be confined. This is the house arrest procedure. Now, in the case of house arrest, when the property is being taken, then the owner of the property is entitled to receive the rent for that particular thing. However, guys, rent is actually many a times not given. And if particularly we take the example of Mizoram, then by using the Public Safety Act, large tracts of land has been taken for the purpose of constituting them into the sub jails for the house arrest, but now rent has been given. Now, as in 2019, status of Jammu and Kashmir was changed. Large number of people there also are under the house arrest, and the same thing which is happening into the Mizoram, that might also occur into the Jammu and Kashmir. It is an apprehension associated with the house arrest. However, at the same time, there are also various constitutional safeguards against the Preventive Detention and Public Safety Act which could be utilized. So, guys, the first safeguard is that it has been provided that when a person will be detained, he needed to be given opportunity that he can make a representation against the order of the house arrest. And even Supreme Court has also given the protection to it. Supreme Court had said that if there is a delay of even 1 or 2 days in filing such a representation, then the entire order of preventive detention can be vitiated, can be cancelled. Moreover, one more protection has been given into the AK Roy versus Union of India judgment. Here it was said that the preventive detention should not be used for the punitive purposes. For example, a person ordinarily living in Delhi cannot be made to go into house arrest into the Calcutta or Madras, because it will be a kind of a punitivity which is being imposed onto the person. So such kind of thing has not been allowed. Now, guys, because of these constitutional safeguards, a person can apply for the writ of habeas corpus into the cases of preventive detention. But on the ground reality, the issue is different. There are often either inordinate delays in deciding the petitions, or government uses the technical complicacies. For example, many a places, the person who's enclosed into the house is not declared as a sub jail. And here an argument is made that in fact a person has not been a house arrested, he is free. But still, there is a huge swarm of the police installed outside the property. So, guys, these practices are being resorted, and actually onto the ground no respite is coming. Moreover, into the cases of house arrest, apart from this, there is also implication onto the child rights, because their development, their accessibility to the outside world, etc., is also inhibited many a times. problems. So guys, these are the issues in house arrest. And apart from this, already there is a issue of a suspension of 4G, which we had already seen. As and we know that into the times of present crisis, how internet is serving the tutor, is becoming the doctor, and is serving other needs also, and denying the 4G connectivity, how it might be leading to a new class of problems. So friends, these are the general issues which are involved here. So that's it. Now we'll move to next. Guys, here you can see that the Supreme Court had directed the states that they should provide the support to senior citizens who have been impacted by the lockdown and by present crisis. It has been said that elderly people are more susceptible to the anxiety and tension into these times of stress. So therefore, government should provide them the financial assistance in terms of pension, and then the medicine essential items such as masks, sanitizers, etc. should also be provided so that their health can be safeguarded. Now guys, under article number 21 fundamental right to life has been provided, but it is not merely the animal sustenance, rather it is a dignified life, and such a directive by Supreme Court will be helping them to avail the fundamental right under Article 21. Apart from them, under Article number 41, BPSP Part 4, it has also been said that the state should provide the assistance to people into the times of need, such as old age, sickness, misery, etc. So, guys, this particular thing will also fulfill the obligation of the states under Article number 41. So, guys, when the question on to the vulnerable section in GS paper number 2, such as elderly, is asked, there we can cite this particular reference. So, that's it. Now we'll move to next. Now, friends, this article talks about the National Education Policy's proposal to make degrees of 4 years into the bachelor courses, as now they are of the 3 year. So, in this particular direction, it has been said that even earlier, Delhi University started with this initiative where the 3 year degree courses were elevated to 4 year degree. However, the experience in this regard was not good, and ultimately it was to be wound up. And even there was huge protest when such a kind of a change was brought. However, now a question marks are being raised when it has been failed. Then how there is a possibility that now the 4 year degree course will be accepted by the parents as well as the students? So, guys, in that particular direction, certain arguments have been given. First of all, it has been said that although right now the experiment is not going into the due, but it brought a lot of improvement. For example, earlier during the 3 year course, when 1200 students were interviewed by the top financial MNCs, then only 3 were worthy to be selected, and therefore, guys, majority of students are not fit for the real world exposure. They lack the real world problem solving skills. And it was said that subsequently, when the 4 year degree course was utilized, then thus outcomes were good, and even the DU ranked into the top 200 universities into the world. Right now, after dismantling, it is ranking at around 800 rank. So immediately the results were seen, and therefore it should be utilized now into the other universities also. Then guys, the second reason is that when earlier the experiment was started, at that point of time, parents as well as the students, they were not having a clarity that how additional 1 year will be leading to better outcomes. It was just thought as an unnecessary addition. But now, when into the new education policy, a holistic education reform is being made, then now people are perceiving that in better and more positive light. So now the experiment will not be failing, and people will be showing the support in this particular regard. Then thirdly, it has been said that the problem is not of adding, rather problem is of the multidisciplinary approach. Problem is with respect to the adequate pedagogy that is needed into the teachers need to have a better skills as how they can instill so much of interconnectedness into the children, how they can make them ready for the real world problems. So guys, this could be a problem, other things might not be that much problem, and now it is being said that it is high time that multidisciplinary approach should also be adapted into the Indian education system. So guys, this is all in this particular direction, and now we'll move to next. Now, guys, this particular example can serve as a reference onto the issues with respect to the flawed taxation policy of India. Now, guys, into the aftermath of the present crisis, the alcohol cess, an additional duty was added onto the alcoholic spirits, and guys, such duty was so high that it increased the MRP price by 60 to 70%. Now, guys, into the taxation, there has been said that the canon of economy is very much crucial. It means that the rate of tax or the percentage of tax should be such that people don't shift to some alternative mechanisms. Now, guys, whenever the income tax or such other type of taxes are increased, what people do, they start to evade the tax by deliberately under reporting their income. And now, as the alcohol cess has been imposed onto the liquor, people are now, what they doing, they are adopting to such lower priced alcohol to meet the increased gap, and in such a way they are not even drinking much harder alcohols, rather they are also going for the moonshine drinks, that is the illicit liquor or the hooch, which we had already discussed in the yesterday's article. And we know that such thing leads other incidents such as the hooch tragedy which occurred into the Punjab. Moreover, not only the consumers are getting impacted or the manufacturers of liquor are getting impacted, rather state's revenue has actually went down rather than increasing. And guys, here I will introduce one more concept, that is the concept of the Lafar curve. According to this curve, it is said that government's tax collection will only be good at the optimum rate of tax. Now, guys, if the tax rate will be very low, even if all the people will pay the tax, then the end proceeds will not be that very much high. However, if we increase the tax rate, for example, at 100%, then simply people will not report their income, and even then, the government's net realization of tax will be very much low. However, if it is at adequate level, if it is neither too much high nor too much low, government's actual realization will be good and will be decent. Now, here what we had seen that Lafar curve is not followed. Government imposed exceptionally high taxes, and what people did, people either went to other substitutes, less priced drinks, or they are switching to the hooch, or they are switching to other kind of narcotics or other kind of hard drinks, or simply they are not consuming. So this is a kind of a trade-off which is going on. So that's it. Now we'll move to next. Now, guys, this particular news pertains to the Consumer Protection Act, which we had already discussed on 21st July at this particular timestamp. Now, guys, here it has been said that the new legislation, that is the CPA, will not be covering only the giants such as Amazon and Flipkart. Rather, it will be covering the entire B2C segment. Now, B2C means the business to consumer. So, as Amazon and Flipkart are the businesses and directly dealing to the consumer, so it comes into this particular segment. However, there could be other segments also, for example, business to business, where one business comes into the transaction with the other business. For example, Google providing the GPS services to the Swiggy. So, it is the B2B transaction. Then there could be the B2G, that is business coming in interaction with the government. Now we know that GEM portal has been started by the government, where government directly procures the items that are needed into the government departments or ministries. So that could be an example of B2G. Then it could be the G2G, where one government is coming with coming in transaction with the other government. Now, guys, here by other government we can mean that it could be the intergovernment, or it could be intra-government, that is between the ministries or departments. So, guys, there could also be a question onto these such kind of lines. So please keep it into your mind that in which segment it will be falling. So here it has been said that into the new Consumer Protection Act, all the vendors who are onto the online, whether they are onto the social media or they are app based or whatever their version is, they will be covered under the particular act. So guys, that's all. However, if you want to see the act, you can refer here. So that's it. And now, guys, we'll move to the question section. Friends, please pause the video and try to answer the question. Question number 1 is with respect to the department related standing committees. Please consider the statement and identify the incorrect code. Question number 2 is with respect to the Center for Science and Environment. Please read the statement and identify the correct code. Question number 3 is with respect to the Wildlife Institute of India. Please consider the statement and identify the correct code. Question number 4 is with respect to the contempt of court. Please read the statement and identify the correct code. And now guys, today's mains question. So it is a 10 marker question, and the question says that in the wake of a post pandemic world, nations are resorting to right wing extremism in the way of visa sanctions. Discuss. So guys, 10 marker question, GS paper number 2. Please write it, and into the next class we will see the framework of this particular question. So guys, that's it. I hope you liked the discussion. Thank you so much.